him in a little bit to help commentate, but enjoy the run.
Okay, you're live. Good luck.
Alrighty. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. How's it going? Hello, hello, hello. How's it going? One sec. Let's switch back into the game. One sec. Let's switch back into the game. One sec. Let's switch back into the game. Yeah, thanks, Stream Hat Man. Yeah, thanks. So, my name is Ghostking, and I'll be running a game called East Origin for you. The category is Toal EX any percent, which Toal EX
I hear
any
an
percent,
echo on your
which
side, by the way.
why is what? Is it an echo from you or an echo from me?
Hold on a second. I might be on my end. Yeah, it's on my end. It's something that came up that shouldn't have came up. Okay, you're good.
Okay, good to know. Okay, I alt-tabbed back into the game. There we go. Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Ghostking, and welcome to East Origin. As I said, this is the category of Toal EX. Toal is one of the three playable characters in this game, and EX is a setting that you unlock after you've beaten the game. So, just give a little bit of information up front. This category is done on the easy difficulty. This is because normal and hard don't show a huge significant difference overall in strategies, and it's much more consistent than doing something on, say, Nightmare. And then there's also a very easy difficulty in this game, but that's basically a meme. So this is just the category we figured it was best to do on. There's some strats that are enabled by doing it on this difficulty. So I'm going to go ahead and give a countdown. As soon as I click disable here, that will start time. So begin in 3, 2, 1, go. Alrighty. So to kind of start off this game here, as you can see, the game is actually in 16:9, but this cutscene is in 4:3 because this game was originally made 12 years ago for the PC. So they enhanced a few things to kind of fit it to the resolution. Anyways, so if you're familiar with the East series at all, the first game and every game afterwards stars a young man by the name of Adol Christin. This takes place 700 years before his time, and is sort of a prequel to the entire series, hence the origin in the name. Although these two characters are the goddesses Rhea and Fina, and you've seen them in the first two East games. So Toal is sort of a fallen hero type character. He basically went on a mission with his mentor, a guy by the name of Saltova, to take out a bunch of demons. And then Saltova died, and then he defected over to the bad guy side, which is why as soon as you see this opening cutscene here, the goddesses notice a broken sword, which was Toal's. Toal has basically gone to the dark side, and his hair is now white, and he uses Wolverine claws as his main weapon. So for this game itself, there are three different characters that all function a little bit differently. There's Unica, who wields an axe. She's sort of meant to be the standard character who plays similar to Adol in pretty much every other East game. There's Hugo, which nobody likes. He's the annoying mage. And then there's Toal, who is designed to be a bit more of a berserker. He's very up close and personal, but he has some really unique abilities that make him a lot of fun to work with. So anyways, Toal basically says he's going to be hunting monsters throughout this tower. Although he is working for the bad guys, he's kind of, plays by his own rules for most of the story. So here we're going to get into a basic combat tutorial. Aw, dang, my music file edits are not present. That's fine. This game has a pretty good soundtrack by default. So what I'm going to do here is try and sneak out, and I did not. So right there's normally a glitch, which is pretty funny. If you clip out at the right spot, you do a lunge at the right angle, you can actually mess with Toal's position in this cutscene, and he would be standing right about here. There's going to be quite a lot of glitches in this game. You'll notice that I'm running on the mouse and keyboard pretty quickly, because mouse and keyboard is the fastest way to run the game on the PC version. There is a PS4 version that is considerably faster, but it doesn't have quite as many interesting nuances to it. So the PC version is generally preferred amongst runners, even if it is slower overall. The only reason the PS4 version is faster is because of cutscene fast forwarding, because there's quite a hefty amount of cutscenes in this run. So right here I'm using lunges a bunch because it's faster for movement, but also because it lowers defense on enemies. And I need to kill all glowing red enemies in order to get past this red barrier. There we go. So right off the bat, I'm going to be getting a item called the Cerulean Labellum, and this is the most broken item in the game because it gives us the most broken skill in the game, a skill by the name of Godspeed. So Godspeed is just sort of a wind-based dash ability, and allows me to kind of just zoom around the map. So I killed that guy to get to level 2 because that's important. We're gonna do a quick little jump up here, and that saves about 10 seconds of just navigation if I make it. So Godspeed is just generally faster, but if you combine it with lunge, it not only accelerates you even more, but combining Godspeed with lunge to make what we call a God lunge also has the nice little benefit of combining the speed you get from both lunge and Godspeed without losing the momentum. I'm going to do another trick here. So if I run alongside a wall on the right side of my character model, I get a little bit of additional height and I make a jump that I shouldn't normally be able to. And then I can actually clear that gap by letting go of the mouse, because you accelerate faster with Godspeed when you let go of the mouse and use the ability. So these are just a bunch of little skips we built up. And so right here I'm actually using the next most broken property of Godspeed, which is that for a couple of frames in the animation, Toal does not have any collision. And this is really important because this allows us to clip around the seams of many, many things, including gates and doors. So here we're talking to this little Rue. This is a scripted event. And he gives me an item if I give him a fruit, which I picked up a fruit by doing that skip a little bit earlier. In response, he gives me an item called Cleria Ore, which is incredibly useful because this game's damage formula is busted. So Cleria Ore is a power for my damage. It's the equivalent to getting an upgrade to my weapon. So now I just do a lot more damage. You pretty much need to pick those up as fast as you can. So ordinarily I would have to backtrack a little bit and then fight a boss use the medallion that I picked up earlier. But since I can just clip through the store, I can actually skip the first boss of this game, because all that boss gives me is a key into this room here. So since I'm under leveled, these bats are gonna take a lot of hits to kill, so I want to get their defense down and lower the damage resistance that they normally have. So I'm doing a lot of jumping attacks here because jump attacks do significantly more damage to enemies. These guys I would only be able to do like 1 damage on the ground, but I do like 8 to 9 a hit ordinarily when I use jump attacks. And so Toal can go Super Saiyan. He just unlocked the ability by killing those 3 bats. This is his demon form. He goes purple. This is a really useful ability. It's also necessary to proceed because there's a room that I was just in that sucked me through the floor and caused me to go on a bit of a detour. But now that I can go into demon mode, I can get through that room. And we're going to come up on another big skip really quickly. Whoops, I forgot. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to backtrack. Still faster to do it this way.
Hey, if you don't mind, I can read a couple donations real quick.
Sure, go for it.
Well, we are now over $3,000.
Yo,
Less
nice.
than 3 days. We got a $2.50 donation from Shawnee7188.
Yes, I noticed you, Shawnee. I get it.
He says, "Good luck on the run, sir. Glad to see you running this game again. Donation goes to your choice."
Whatever is next that hasn't been met.
Okay, so probably Tails is Symphonia.
Oh,
Maxwell.
Parabel.
Okay, and then we got a $50 donation from the Big Bong Balls, who will be doing Phantasy Star 4 later. Says RPG is cool, and I'm also a whiner and trying to get the marathon back on schedule. As he put that towards Mercedes for Odin Sphere, because that's the shortest run.
I can't believe Mercedes is the shortest run in that. Also, I'm having trouble getting this trick here. This is annoying. I can't believe Mercedes is the fastest for that game. Come on. This is ridiculous. This is not a hard skip. Ah! Oh my god! Fine, I'll do it one more time, and then I'll do it the slow, shameful way. Ah. Yeah, so that skip saves about 1 second. So I've blown the last minute on a skip that saves 1 second. I've also lost most of my bonus meter as well, which is unfortunate. Yeah, I couldn't get the angle on that. Alright, so I need to kill all these guys to get myself up to 183, or sorry, 283. Do another clip there, thanks to Godspeed being the hilariously broken ability that it is. Then we're going to do another clip here. So I took took another level so that I could get myself up to what I say 83. That is my HP value. This game's level ups are completely static. So when I hit 83, that means I hit like level 4. But we refer to them by HP values just because it's easier to remember. Because you have to go into the menu to see what level you are. So this is the first boss, Velagunder. He's a bit of a punk. I need to continually do jump attacks and then use Godspeed to reset my animations, which saves a tiny bit of time as well as does a little bit of damage on the side. And then hitting him in the face exposes his brain, which is his weak spot. So you see me sliding here, that's not deliberate, that's just, he spits out these bugs that leave this really annoying green goo. And then that just causes me to slide all over the place. The collision in this fight is really good. and by that I mean it's terrible. So, a lot of bad things happen here. Getting up his arms is one of the worst things. There we go. Alright, so that's the first real boss fight down. Who knows what's going on here? Yes, purple does actually mean royalty, because surprisingly, the color purple used to be really rare. Like, I remember reading a thing that said that there's like 2 flags in the world that use purple, and both of them came after 1950 because purple dye was so rare. So there's been your daily trivia by Ghostking. I don't know. It was really hard to get like purple dye that looked good. Anyways, so this character just informed me that there's a mysterious man who looks a lot like Toal in the tower, and you find out pretty quickly who that is. It's actually Toal's brother, who's a total punk, and nobody likes him. So after each chapter is sort of a flashback cutscene of Toal's life before he was a demon, basically. This is meant to be sort of the true end to the game, by the way. Each character kind of has their own different take on the story. As you can see, he used to have blonde hair, which was the sign of, I don't know, being a good guy or something. And then he became an edgy boy. He also used to be really good friends with the goddesses, and sort of star-crossed lovers with one of them. I mean, it's pretty obviously not meant to be, given the fact that one of them is kind of immortal. Well, I mean, both of them are kind of immortal, and he's kind of not. So when is Hugo's story? If I had mod, I would ban you on the spot right now, Shawnee. I don't care if you ever run in a few days. Alright, so next area is Flooded Prison. So before the next boss fight, I need to get up to 117. And I am missing all the skips today. And I am missing all the skips today. There we go. See, so the seams around that pink fence there are pretty much just suggestions. It's really easy to just skip through that entirely. Alright, so now I acquired the silver bracelet. This increases my normal movement speed by a little bit, which adds up over the course of the run. And so now what I want to get are these little potion drops that enemies are giving me. I specifically want the red ones and the yellow ones, because the red ones increase my strength, and the yellow ones increase my MP regeneration. They go away after a little bit of time, and I want to enter the next boss fight with as many power-ups as I can have. I'm going to take a quick little detour here to grab this armor. This isn't necessary, this is just something for safety purposes to try and increase the chance that I get a quick kill on the next boss. So So one thing you might also notice that I'm doing is I'm attacking a lot. Normally I have a 5-hit combo, but I can extend this infinitely by repeatedly mashing left click. Okay, I'm losing MP speed. I'm not going to have it for very long, which means that this next fight's going to be really annoying. But at least I have the strength bonus. Alright, so this is Hugo. He's Toal's little brother, and he's kind of a total brat. He's noticed that we've defected, and basically he says he's been sent here to execute us. Even though we're kind of a total, like, kind of his brother, but we're also a total traitor, so makes sense. But we're gonna own his face, hopefully. Since I don't have any MP regen in this fight, this is gonna be a really annoying fight. It's been a while since I've done this strategy against him. Alright, so now he's going to do this laser, which is really annoying, but it's a lot easier to dodge than it looks sometimes. Oop, I died. Yeah. There's a quick kill that would require the use of MP restoration. So this is the use of combo canceling at work. I'm repeating the third hit of the combo so that I attack really, really fast. I just kind of become a total buzzsaw. Ooh, that did more damage than I would have hoped. Stop leaving your stupid mines. There we go. Nice run so far. Oh man. Alright, so that's kind of one of the worst fights in the game. Takes a lot of runners, a lot of time to get used to being able to deal with him quickly. So, the way combo canceling works, as I mentioned, I was mashing left click and attack on the after hitting the third hit of my basic attack combo, and that just did the highest DPS there. So, before we could finish him, everyone in this game has the warp ability, so he just kind of warped away with his friends. Anyway, so this guy here is Kishgal, aka Mr. Cutscene. He also has hilarious hair, to the point where Ghoul thought his hair was actually a glitch. Like that, it's just the top half of his head, like, copied on top of itself. I don't know, nobody particularly likes Kishgal, not because he's really a bad villain or anything. He's basically a guy who seeks the powerful, and doesn't really have any interest in doing anything evil, just fighting strong people and getting more powerful. But he mostly serves to extend cutscenes. Alright, so now I've gotten another Clariot Ore, which tempers my weapon even further. Oh, I see, I forgot to equip the armor that I picked up. I should probably do that now, because I want to get more mileage out of it. That's why I died on Hugo, because I forgot to equip the armor. Like I said, it's not necessary, but it does help. Okay. So that jump is pretty hard to do. Requires some good timing on your part. But now I have an emerald, which lets me charge my god speed up. And that just extends the distance that I get out of it. Okay, let's remember to equip the water dragon scales. So the water dragon scales prevent me from drowning. Alright. So I activate that statue so that I have a teleporting point. Also, that gate skip is free. You just have to jump and maneuver at a 45-degree angle, which I can do with the arrow keys. So I briefly touched up on this earlier, but running alongside anything on the right side of my character model, if I brush up at an angle just shy of parallel to the wall, I get an acceleration of speed as well as jump height, and most importantly here, while I'm swimming, I sink faster. So you'll just kind of see me sliding around the room as much as possible. Especially down here, because this helps me sink faster. Alright, so now that I've made this detour, I've gotten this item called the Level 11 Strike Hammer, which gives me thunder-based abilities. I just have to quick swap with my keyboard. So you'll see me use that ability quite a lot for damage. Hey, first try on the gate clips every time. Usually takes me a couple of tries. So I need to grab that ability in order to kill the turtles here. And the glowing red ones are basically necessary for me to kill. They die in one hit though. So I'm going to kill these guys real quick to get to 129, which is the perfect level to be at for this next boss fight on this difficulty. And then I'm going to take a quick detour to feed this brew. So now I have an enhanced Thunderclaw. Alright, so gonna attempt to skip here. There's not really a good setup for this one, you just have to kind of wing it. There we go. That's past the gate, and then this will get past the door. So yeah, that gate and that door are pretty easy to skip. The first one has no setup, the second one does. How does the water stay in the tower? I don't know. It's magic. Alright, so this is the giant annoying Centipede boss. Here I'm using Thunderclaw a couple of times. While he's on the tower here. He has 14 spikes on his back, each one lowers his health by a little bit. And then his head has about the final quarter of his HP. And then now I'm going to go into boost mode and use Charged Thunderclaw. Okay, so now he's going to spin. I kind of messed the setup a little bit. Thankfully his first rotation is 100% consistent. So I was able to get the spike while he was spinning and kill him really quickly. So that was a pretty decent save. One spin is definitely not bad. There are no doors that exist in this game, Hoppy. What are you talking about? Yeah, I love this game. It's pretty good. It does have some interesting design choices, but overall it's a fun game. I find that as far as mechanics go for a speed run, this game is probably in my top 3 action RPGs to speed run. So yeah, I could have gotten a quicker kill on that boss, but I kind of botched the setup a little bit, so one spin is something I'll take 100% of the time. So there's this interesting little bit here in this conversation where the goddess Rhea tells Toal something about how, you know, she realizes, you know, she's not the perfect goddess of the way people think she is, and he's just like, hey, if you're even half perfect, you're better than any man alive, which is kind of cute and romantic, I guess. So I need to kill those guys before they get in my way. And like everything else in this game, you can flip through that tower there as well at the right angle. I don't need to be killing these guys. That's another category. So I'm gonna pick up one last Rota fruit here. So since the incentive was met, I will be feeding the last brew. So we'll do a little something different for that than I usually do. Oops, that was badly angled on my part. So an interesting choice of design. Godspeed has fire properties in Toal EX, which ordinarily I would have to go into this back room in order to get fire magic, which is necessary to light these torches. But since Godspeed comes with it built in, we can kind of just ignore it. And this is important because there's a boss fight there and then a ton of cutscenes. So in not doing that, we save about 8 minutes, and there are nice alternative strats to grabbing. It's this item called the Crimson Lotus Blade, which gives me an ability called I don't even remember it anymore. It's a fire spin ability that gives me a little bit of it allows me to hover a bit. It also gives me fire damage, which, believe it or not, I won't be needing for the run. On higher difficulties, it's a little harder to manage, but on easy, it really allows this category to shine. Doggone it, why do people always ask me about Hugo? Thank you. Thank you, whoever did that. I didn't think somebody would actually follow up on that. So yeah, so now we have the Crimson Lotus Blade, which we never picked up because we skipped that cutscene where we were supposed to get it. And we gave it to Unica here, one of the other playable characters. It was a sword that belonged to her father. So this will be important for later. So this next room here is playing this dreadful music. I know, and bad music in a Falcom game is pretty rare. In fact, it's so bad it's basically poison. And every character has their own unique way of dealing with it. Hugo's ability, or way of dealing with it, is he just breaks the pipes. Unica plays the harmonica of purification. And then Toal just kind of beast modes his way through. There we go. That door is really... that barrier is really precise to skip through, and if you miss the skip, you just sink through the door and fall to the platform below, so it's really annoying. So getting it first try is really nice. Do a bit of a skip here. Okay, missed the jump, but it's fine. Alright, so we haven't leveled up since the start, and we're very nearly at the chapter boss, being that we skipped the first boss of this section. Alright, so I'm gonna grind. I'll be done in like half a minute. Whoops. Why did my mouse not go where I want it to? So these guys are really easy to just herd up and kill in one shot. Alright, this grind has not been great because I didn't get the really quick enemy mob kills, but that's fine.
You know, I love the word grind because it's a good time to read a donation.
Yes, go right ahead.
How about $30 from Witch's Hex, who will be running the next game? I'm going to donate towards my own bid war because I really want Mercedes to win. And Mercedes is in the lead, $105 to 0 for everything else.
Dang, dude. That much on Mercedes. So I was hoping for Cornelius, but that's just because I always root for Cornelius in that game. Alright, so now that I'm at 175, I can take on the next boss with pretty relative ease. And then God Lunge past the pink barrier and just clip through the door, as always, because thanks to Godspeed, doors, barriers, they're all just suggestions. There's only like a couple of them that are necessary in the run anymore. In fact, the one in Flooded Prison is about the only one that we still do, and that one is skippable, it's just not RTA viable, because you have to like literally like position yourself on the correct seam of the wall, and you just clip through by just swimming into a wall for several seconds. So this is Galaldi. He's sort of the boss of the demo of the game. So he's pretty recognizable. His main strategy here is he likes to punch me, but with a timely dodge, you can just avoid all his fist attacks. This fight's pretty deterministic. It's just a matter of hitting his fists before they, like without missing a cycle, and then just hitting his face. If you jump attack, you can actually bypass the hit stun that his bite attack gives you. So that was a really, really clean fight. If you make any mistakes during that fight, it can go south really fast. It just costs you so much time. So getting that first try is really good. Hey, thanks for the good luck, Tiny Tim. Yeah, so the reason why grind strats in this game work so well is whenever you get a hit, you get 1% bonus EXP, and this goes up to 99. So at max combo for your EXP multiplier, you basically get double EXP. So finding a room where you're just killing the same enemies really quickly, you effectively have the amount of time it takes to grind on any given point. And levels mean a pretty big difference in this game. Like, a single level could mean the difference of like 4 to 5 more damage points. So So this whole cutscene is Unica thanking us for giving her her sword. There's an earlier cutscene that we completely skipped by skipping through the purple barrier where Unica confronts Toal. So Unica's father was Toal's mentor. They're both from the Tova line, which is mentioned in East 1. And Toal just kind of leads her on and like thinking that Toal was the one who killed Unica's father. And so she kind of attacks him haphazardly and he knocks her unconscious because this is why you don't attack people in fits of rage. And so in that cutscene, she's basically saying, hey, you're not such a bad guy. And then at this point in the story, Toal's just kind of questioning his whole motive for being evil. I'm kind of just glossing over the story here. It's an okay enough story. This game was localized by Xseed, who put a lot of thought into the translation. There is a story, we're just skipping most of it. So, although these cutscenes, you can just hold down the jump button to advance text, unfortunately it's not the fastest way to get through text. It's actually faster to mash while holding text skip. But it's pretty marginally faster. Like, in a span of 3 minutes worth of cutscenes, you'll save like 2 seconds. So, if you're really not feeling like it, you don't really have to mash, and it doesn't cost you very much. Alrighty. So this room I have to do things a little bit differently. There's normally a skip that I would do with my fire ability, but since I don't have that for Total EX, I have to find an alternative, which thankfully I can do right here. There's this precise angle to it. There we go. Alright, so this door is really precise. There's like one pixel that works. So I actually use a Windows accessibility function to move my cursor one pixel at a time. Shoutouts to Windows accessibility, specifically mouse keys, which lets me use my numpad to scroll my cursor one pixel at a time. Alright, so this gives me double jump, which is pretty necessary ability. Oops, I made a mistake there. So because the Dragon Ball Z laser beam attack incentive was met, I'm going to take a little detour here to grab the Rotafruit. The nice thing about the Rotafruits is it doesn't really matter which one you grab, just as long as you give it to the Roo. I'm gonna heal up there just so I don't have to worry about risky business. So this room actually has a pretty cool strat. 6 of these undead enemies are going to pop out, and the strat to kill them quickly is double jump, slam, and then thunderclaw. And if I fail, I can just do a second thunderclaw and they all die, because they kind of get sucked in. The bump system's actually not bad. Like I've gone back and played East 1, 2, and 4, and they're all fun enough games. They're dated, but they're certainly playable. Alright. So, I haven't really touched on the grand objective of this whole section. So Toal went into this tower with a bunch of bad guys, a sorceress, Kishgal, I mentioned earlier, the axe fighter, and then there's this powerful wizard by the name of Dallas. A lot of these are characters that you actually see in East 2. But anyways, the goddesses came in to this tower looking for the bringing along with them the Black Pearl. And the Black Pearl here gives a huge magic power bonus. So we've already captured one of the goddesses. This happens in a cutscene that I skipped, and now we found the other one. But at this point, Toal is super hesitant, and he kind of tries to tell her off, saying, "Hey, I've become a demon. I'm not your friend anymore." And she says, "No, I still see the good in your heart." And so Toal just kind of lets her go. This item's a silver chime, so it allows us to kill undead. We're probably not going to need it. Yeah, pretty much everything in East 1 and 2 is built up to at some point in this game. So Toal mentions that he needs to head back to Rado's Annex, which is a side tower on the Dharm Tower here. Spoiler warning, we're not actually going to be going there because you can just skip it. So we're not going to be seeing any of Fina until the very final cutscene of the game. So sorry, Fina fans. I know she is still the better of the two goddesses. By the way, this is my favorite track in the game. I'm sad that because my Steam settings are all screwed up, that the super arranged version, which I've normally modded into my sound files, isn't playing here, because that version is really, really good. But the default soundtrack of this game is still fantastic. Like, so the composers for the East games, as well as any game developed by Nihon Falcom, is a company by the name of Falcom JDK. It's a dedicated sound team, and kind of Falcom's trademark is Falcom JDK. They put a lot of work into their music. They were one of the first developers to really put a focus on good music in their games. So we got lunch to skip through that door. There's another setup to do it, but it's really awkward. So we've clipped through doors, we've clipped through barriers. Why don't we just clip through walls too? There we go. So inward pointing corners don't have great collision, so you can just use Godspeed. And it best works there with God Lunge by just, you know, dashing into the corner. And if there's something on the other side, then you'll pretty easily be able to clip through. I want to try for the fancy strat in this next room, being careful on this slide here. Hey, I almost got it, and then I hit the spikes. That's not good. So ordinarily I need to pick up something called the Earth Dragon Scales, which allows me to traverse on sand, which for some reason is ice in this game. Without sliding, but we're not going to do that. So ordinarily I wouldn't kill this guy because I don't need to. I can skip through the barrier and the door at the same time. However, because Steam decided to be really funny this morning, I lost all of my save files, so I have to make them right now. So that door is easy to skip through, and we're gonna just skip this boss. And we just skipped the boss. I messed that trick up about 1 in 100 times, but I didn't want to just lose the run all of a sudden. So they actually set a vertical height cap on boss triggers in this game, meaning that with using wall run to get additional height and then just Godspeeding to extend my forward momentum, I can just hop right over the boss trigger, and that wall has no collision because it's meant to open up during the fight. So it's not really solid, because you're not supposed to do that. Vi is an interesting series. Oh, the volume is low. Sorry about that. I could definitely turn it up. Yeah, I'll go ahead and turn it up for you guys. It is a pivotal part of the Nihon Falcom experience. So, hold on. I just alt-tab because I don't want the game to crash. There, we'll see how that is. Weird. Sorry, my game was kind of freaking out there for a second. Alright, so I'm really underleveled right now. I have the experience from 2 bosses ago, so I need to get some extra EXP here. How's the audio now, by the way? Alright, so here we're gonna do a skip where I slam myself into a pair of spikes. And then occasionally clip over it. Okay. So this skip's the easiest one in the game. I just have to hold up and right and use Godspeed, and I clip through that door. Even by this game's standards, that one's really, really easy. Alright, so this room has an interesting strat going for it. So I use the pull of Thunderclaw because Charged Thunderclaw pulls enemies, and I bring them into this poison water where they take 20 damage a hit, which is far more damage than I can do to them, so they just kind of die in the poison. As a fellow runner of this game describes it, calls it cool party strats. So that door used to be one of the hardest doors to live through in the entire game, but it's free now. Alright, so I haven't picked up armor in a very long time, and pretty much every enemy here can 3-shot me. So giving that allows me to take 1 to 2 additional hits. Give me. I just leveled up twice in a single attack. This whole area is just really satisfying to do in a speedrun, even if I'm not executing it the best right now. Alright, so I need 267. I'll kill these guys up here for a little bit of bonus. And I accidentally used my boost a little earlier, which is not good, so I'm just gonna kill these guys. I don't normally kill the enemies in this room, but because I have no safety saves right now, I need to do so. Oh, sorry. Probably just my internet freaking out for a moment. I do not need this. What is going on here? Save. I'll go for this trick a couple times, see if I can't get it. That door's easy to just brute force. See if I can't get this. I almost never get this in marathon runs. Aw, darn. Alright, I'm going to try for it one more time, and then I'll just do the fight. So I just alt-tabbed out of the game, so it's going to come back up. Okay. So, with a well-timed Godspeed and a jump right at that corner, I can actually skip doing this boss entirely. But skipping the boss doesn't save too much time, so it's not really worth it to go if I miss. I just wanted to see if I could demonstrate it. So I killed him before he got the chance to heal. That's actually really, really rare. This is PC. This game's also on PS4 and Vita. God, it's been so long since I did that fight. I did the wrong thing at the end. What you're supposed to do at the end of that fight is actually head towards the exit, because you do have a couple of seconds in which you can position yourself closer to where you need to go. Yeah, this game goes on sale for $6, pretty much like once every other month or something. Alright, so this is the cutscene in which Toal just finally decides he's going to be a good guy again. And he picks probably the worst time to do it. Because he's basically just been stalling Rhea for like a solid minute, just talking to her. So in comes the evil sorcerer and sorceress, and they've possessed our weak-minded idiot brother, who is now a much more powerful mage. Just kind of destroys our face. Right, so this is the wizard Xion, or priest Xion. We kind of beat the ever-loving tar out of him in an earlier fight, but we skipped that fight because Toal EX kind of broke Godspeed even more than regular Toal did. So this is another one of my favorite songs in the game. I'll go ahead and just like try and buffer the audio, or boost the audio a little bit more. One second. So the nice thing about doing the Victimos fight is I get 2 extra levels, so I don't have to grind in this section as much. So here I can actually use the corner to perform a wall run. I'm kind of just doing this blind. How about this? I'm more familiar with the setup for this part. Okay. Alright, so you all donated for this incentive, so we're gonna grab the Dragon Ball Z laser beam attack. Yeah, the super range version of this song is the best one in that soundtrack. It's got this really great saxophone. Alright, so now I've unlocked Burst, and the way Burst works is, whenever I'm in Boost, I can tap the Boost button again, and just basically do a Gallic gun. I sometimes call it the Kamehameha Doken, but it's more like a Gallic gun, if you're familiar with Dragon Ball Z lore. the best attack in the game, regardless. Alright, so I do have everything equipped, I just want to make sure. If I don't have the armor equipped in this fight, it's basically run dead. Wolf Fang Fist. You mean the attack that has no energy beam behind it whatsoever? Alrighty, so this is Kishgal. He wants to fight Toal because, partly because Toal is a traitor, but also partly because Toal was taught by Saltova, so he figures fighting Toal will give him the chance to fight Saltova in a way that he never got the chance to. So, the lore is that Kishgal was the one who actually killed Unica's father and Toal's mentor, Saltova. But, it was after he had already done battle with several demons, so Kishgal didn't quite get the fight he wanted. Alright, so this next attack is really annoying. Okay, that's not supposed to happen. Okay, this fight is definitely not going the way it's supposed to. There we go. So, I don't normally use that ability in this fight. I don't normally grab it in the run because it's slightly slower to take the time to do so. But I'll show it off because people graciously donated for it. So this is Rod. That's just what it's called. And the reason it's called this is because it's the same item as the Rod from East 1. Which, what the Rod does is it lets us go through mirrors. In Rod we trust. This is So, Kishgal asks us to give him the proper fight, and it's like, keep fighting until one of us dies. And Toal's just like, no, I'm not a monster. I'm not gonna kill you just because. So Kishgal gets angry, and then Unica comes in and shoots a giant fire phoenix at him. So they're just gonna take care of Toal, or Kishgal, while we proceed up the tower. Because right now the big bad has the Black Pearl, and we kind of really don't want him to use it to get all powerful. So, save the world and all that jazz. Alright, I'm gonna try a skip here that's pretty new. It's kind of hard to work, so if it doesn't work, I'm not gonna go for it too much. God, getting the angle on this sucks. There we go. Nice. So that actually doesn't save time, given how much time it took me to set up. It saves about 10 seconds if you get it quickly. But it's just a great way to show how janky the collision is in this game. If there's something below an inward pointing corner, there's generally ways to clip through it. As you'll see right here, this one's actually got a setup to it that's really easy. So yeah, clip through any inward pointing corners. That one saves about 5 seconds. Collision is not trying hard enough, Lovitz. Alright, so this boss is a little tricky. On harder difficulties, there is a trick to this fight in which you can enter the fight while being invulnerable. On this difficulty, it's not necessary to do so because she doesn't really do enough damage to be a huge threat. On higher difficulties, you would just use this glitch. Ozzy, get the hell out of here. Dear Hugo, you're like the third person who's asked about Hugo. Could somebody please purge Ozzy? He has been banned in my stream multiple times for this, even though he is a good friend of mine. Alright, so this is Bowie's morning face. It's very angry. Anyways, this is Lava. She's really, really annoying. She likes to float up and just kind of be a general nuisance. So after you do a quarter of her HP, she starts going into one of the heads. This fight's actually the same. It's very similar to a fight in East 1. Now the trick to beating her quickly is she's going to rise back up, and then what you want to do is immediately use Charged Thunderclaw, and I messed up because she went in an awkward position and the head screwed me over. What is going on here? Nice glitch. Dude, nice meme. she's being carried by the face. I've never seen that happen before. So yeah, this is a slow fight because now she's doing this really long and time-consuming attack. Please get hit. Ah, the perspective in this fight is pretty bad. So I took some damage deliberately there to build up boost meter so I could kill her in style, you know, swag strats. There's a couple of Hugo fans. One of the other runners of this category, Felvisage, says he likes Hugo as a concept, he just hates how he's executed. Alright, more cutscene here. Sorry, I have not been, like, giving you proper time to read donations. You kind of had to force it. Go ahead, you can go ahead and read a donation here if you'd like to, Ice Spirits.
Fine then, how about I read 2? Will that make you happy?
Yes, it makes me very happy.
Okay, how about $20 from Zyrek that says, in honor of RPGC, let's name one of the Final Fantasy IV characters, Valkyrie. Get well soon. I think we still have 3 names available for Final Fantasy IV. Yep, we have at least 3 names available if anyone wants them. And Tiny Tim 78 gave 20.
Hold on, you cut out there as soon as you said 20. Might be an echo thing. I don't know. 1 sec. Yeah, Discord should be pretty loud. Yo, nice job. Nice job, Discord. So this is your epic final area music. Oh, I got a super slide there. So yeah, sometimes if you lunge into slime, it accelerates your movement. The angle there is pretty precise. Out for these guys because they're really annoying and like to suck me in inwards. Alright, so ordinarily I don't need to kill these guys, but the next trick is make or break the run, and so I definitely need a save. So I'll try and show off the setup to get through this next area anyway. If the first strat doesn't work, I'll use the backup. So I don't actually need to kill these enemies to break down that door, but yeah. So the collision on this part's really weird, and I just clipped through the door by just kind of brute forcing it. All right, let's see. Hope this works. Okay, so that didn't get it. And that is a soft reset. Okay. Yeah, so I didn't get the glitch there, which means that the run would have been over if I didn't have a save. Okay. So I went from one place in jank collision to another, and so I can hit the trigger of that of this door anyways in that spot. Okay, now how am I not getting this? This is easy. Okay, I'm not getting this trick set up right. This is really annoying. Finally, I get it. Alright, so what I just did there was I positioned myself in such a way that when I enter this fight with Godspeed, I enter in with frames of no hit detection. So basically, in this next fight, I will have no collision and no hitbox. Which means Hugo here is not going to be able to do any damage to me, so long as I don't ever use Godspeed, because that's the trick to breaking out of it. And I know that when I get the setup right based on my position. Okay, I think I'm a little under-leveled here. I might have been the bad soft fight before. Not that that's really a problem. I'm down by like 1 extra level. Which means I do less damage on this fight, but it'll even out on the next one. Come on, Hugo. Be a pal. I love doing that. So yeah, Hugo is basically unable to do anything to me in that fight, which is really nice because trying to do that fight without invulnerability glitch is kind of a nightmare, especially if I don't have my fire ability, which I don't currently have. Oh yes, he knows very well how I feel about him. So after this fight, Hugo finally decides to accept his brother because he's normally a bit of a punk ass about it. So now we have the Goddess Ring. Because I think I'm a little bit underleveled, I kind of absolutely need to equip this, otherwise the next fight can be a total pain in the butt. Alright, so it looks like we're probably going to be cutting it close to estimate here, just on account of how many things have gone wrong this run. Normally I have like backups and everything, but I've had to play much slower than I usually do. I actually think I'm at a higher level than I'm usually at for this next fight, which is weird. I think being under-leveled in that previous fight gave me more EXP, which means I'm entering this fight over-leveled. So it's time to take on the big bad guy who has our woman. Shawnee, we do not mention that word around here. What is this Skype garbage? So what the Goddess Ring does is it buffs Toal's offense and defense by 5 points, which is actually a considerable amount in this game, given this game's just straight up simple damage formula. Saria tells us to release the power within the Goddess Ring, which is enough to let us punch through Dallas's barrier, literally. Yeah, it's exactly what Ego Buff said. Alright, so this is Dallas. He's kind of sucked up some of the power of the Black Pearl and become a giant monster demon. Alright, so ordinarily I need fire damage to kill through the shields. This is actually really a slow process here. And he's actually cooperated with me. This is normally one of the worst fights in the game. I think me being a level higher than I normally am is making this a little unusual. I should just be using this, because Godspeed penetrates through his shield on Toal EX. Watch out for that lingering hitbox. He'll suck me in and kind of just destroy me. Yeah, if I get caught by that vortex, he pulls me in, and it's a very long, time-consuming attack. Oh dang, I didn't even get that off. What a joke. So, ordinarily, I have to kill him in 3 cycles, but because I'm over-leveled, the cycles were weird. And he only had 2 hits left, so I was able to kill him with Godspeed. That's actually really bizarre to me. Alright, so it looks like we're going full scrub-a-thon today. This run's gonna go just a little bit over estimate. My apologies. Given minimal preparation, lack of save files, it padded the run out much more than it needed to. That, you know, alt-tabbing to configure audio. Yeah, this run was basically a case of pretty much everything that could have gone wrong did, so... Oh, I can totally talk about you with talk about hockey with you, Lavitz, if you want. Yeah, but that's not the way you want it to balance out, High Spirits. Yeah, so normally in that fight you actually do take a bit of damage. I have died on that fight once in my life, just based on how awkward it can be to do. But I entered that fight severely over-leveled, and I think it's because my, in the Zava fight, I didn't quite build up my EXP meter, so I got less EXP in that fight than I should have. And then by that, I went into the next fight under-leveled, and being at a lower level means you get more experience. So I did Hugo under-leveled, meaning that cost a little bit of time, but it made the next fight much faster. Yeah, see, the final 2 bosses of this game are pretty easy even on Nightmare, so it wouldn't have been too big of a problem regardless of difficulty. Alright, so here's Fina. So, I haven't explained at all what's going on in this cutscene. Basically, a man comes down and kills Dallas with his, or impales him with great prejudice. I guess it doesn't really kill him. And then it turns out that man is actually Toal's father, who's evil. And now he's sucking up all the demonic power in the Black Pearl for himself. And Toal's powerless to do anything about it until he gets his sword back. Oh, aw.
Can you hear me?
Hey, what's up, High Spirits?
Wow, Discord is so bugged. I tried switching channels to Witch's Hex, and it's...
Weird. Oh, I can't hear you anymore. Alrighty, so now that he has all the dark power for himself, Dark Fact is gonna, or sorry, Cane Fact turns into Dark Fact, or Dharma Fact. And we have our sword, which if you've played East 1, the silver sword is basically what you need to defeat the final boss. So in this game we get it, and it's much more broken than in East 1, because in this game it shoots beams of light. Cannot get a good combo cancel. So if I combo cancel with the beams of light, it actually makes my boost meter go up really, really fast. So in all phases but the first, it's random where the black pearl lies, and that's his weak spot. I need to beat it up 4 times before I can unlock the final phase. And it's random which of the 3 spots that it hides in. So I usually try and get it so that I get a charged Thunderclaw. It's Google's fault? What's going on? No, Kishgall is not the hardest fight in this game. I would call Hugo the hardest fight in the game, personally. Okay, I finally got some luck on this. Alright, so time's coming up here once he runs out of HP here, which should be really fast. There we go, time. Yeah, so that final phase is really easy. Once you destroy his shield there, it can get pretty annoying if that ends up taking a while, but because I had burst, it was no sweat. Okay, 130.50. Given all that happened, I'll take it. I've never gone overestimate with this game, so that's definitely a first. Alrighty. There's a pretty long 6-minute long cutscene that ensues after this. I'll call it at a specific time, but yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Thanks everybody for donating. I'm sure High Spirits has a couple more donations to read that he sadly couldn't get to because Discord is borked. But yeah, this is a great game. I love playing it. The soundtrack's great. You know, if you want to check this game out, it's like $6 on Steam. East Memories of Salcedo, which is my favorite East game, is actually coming out on Steam in a few days. It's normally just a Vita game, but yeah. If you're interested in checking this game out, there's plenty of runners. I'm always available to talk with people. So, yeah. I hope you enjoy. Next up is going to be Odinsphere Lefthrasir. And that should be a good time. It's a great game. So, definitely stick around for that.
I can't say it either, don't worry.
Hey, I can hear you now.
I know, because I'm bouncing around and it kind of works. It says I'm still deaf and muted, but